Hi, I'm Dave Ambrose, and I'm here today to talk to you about a social media campaign for the Maine Beer Company. Before we get started, I just want to go over just a quick schedule for our presentation today. So we're going to talk about Maine Beer Company and how it fits into the brewing industry, what its values are, some of the competitors we'll go through. Then we're going to do an analysis of what the Maine Beer's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are. And then we'll dive into the business objectives for our campaign, as well as what the target audience is. We're going to take a look at what the Maine Beer does on its social media at this point and see where we can improve and draw some conclusions from that. Then we'll dive right into the campaign. What we're going to go with, what's our big idea for this, and we'll share some examples of some content, how we're going to fit this into a week on a content calendar, how we're going to measure the effectiveness of the campaign, and how much everything is going to cost. So stick around. So Maine Beer Company is one of the top breweries in the country, but the social media strategy right now is just not where it needs to be for a brewery of its caliber. It disjointed. There's stuff going on different pages. They're letting Twitter completely fall off. They're not even using it at all, and it's just something that needs to change. So our strategy today can help bring more exposure to the brand and its charitable efforts. That's one of the, as you can see on the sign there, do what's right. That's one of the main tenets of the company that we're going to try and grab a hold of and show you on our social media plan. We just hope that this campaign is going to show that Maine Beer is more than just a brewery, and we're going to help build a community around that, around its beer, around its charitable efforts, and it will increase engagement and revenue for the company. So first, a little history. Maine Brewing Company was founded in 2009 by brothers Daniel and David Cleveland in Portland. They eventually grew out of that place and had to move up to Freeport, which is about 20 minutes north of Portland. And they grew from a 1-barrel operation to 60 barrels, and now they are producing over 25,000 barrels a year and is the third largest brewery in Maine. They do get a lot of national and local recognition for their products, as they were voted the best brewery in the state and 26 in the world. So there's definitely interest in the brand. There's definitely a want and a need for their products. We just need to promote that and tell a little more about the story of the brand online. The values are something that the company takes very seriously and they're very proud of. They're guided by the core belief to do what's right no matter what. They donate 1% of their gross annual sales to environmental nonprofits, and as part of this 1% of the world organization that they're with. And that's anything from climate change to animal protection to clean energy to just like diversity, equity, inclusion. Just they want to try and get involved in everything and just make the world a better place using the profits that they get from their the beer that they produce. So right now they are at 50% of clean energy. They have solar panels all over their facility, and they've made a commitment to be 100% clean energy by 2023 and produce more than they consume. And they treat their employees very well. Everyone starts at $20 an hour. They have a very good benefits package. So they're just trying to trying to do good. As they said, do what's right no matter what. So the two breweries we're going to focus on for competition are Allagash and Shipyard. So Allagash is the biggest brewery in the state. They do about 100,000 barrels a year, so 4 times the size of Maine Beer Company. But they share a lot of the similar values as Maine Beer, as they're looking to fight injustice. They use only locally grown grains and hops. They just contribute to a lot in the Maine community and the area. So it's a bigger version of Maine Beer, and it's just something that Maine Beer needs to be on the lookout for. And Shipyard is the second largest in the state. They're more of a nationally known brand that they're in all 50 states. They have different offshoot brands of their beer and all that. But they've been around for longer than all 3 of them, and they're deeply rooted in the Maine community. They have a great customer community service effort that they try to get involved in as much as possible. So these are two breweries that, as we'll see, that on social media, they do some things a lot better than the Maine Beer that we need to pick up our way of doing things if we're gonna keep up with them. So as far as what Maine Beer does well, what they don't do well, what they need to work on, they have a very high quality product that is very well known nationally and locally. Portland and Maine has the most breweries per capita, and being one of the top breweries in that state, they have a great location. It's just, there's a lot of beer nuts around Maine, and they fit right in with that. Their local efforts, their community efforts, they have a strong history and commitment to many causes that resonate with people of the Maine area, in this area, and even nationally. Their tasting room has a reputation to being a great place with food and beverages and just the environment. And then just the commitment to employees with a higher than average pay and benefits. That just right now, through COVID and everything, it feels like there was an employee, revolution with people quitting, people doing all that. And Maine Beer has been at the forefront of just trying to make, show that little changes like that, or just, having a commitment to your employees and everything like that. It makes a huge difference. And, they've definitely fought for that. Some of the weaknesses, they don't really offer many in as far as styles of beer. There's hundreds of different styles in general, but they usually focus on a few like IPAs, pale ales, just basic ones that a lot of people like. They do them very well, but I don't know. There's a lot of other breweries are doing a lot of different styles, and it may hurt Maine Beer in the long run. They only produce beer in glass bottles, which are less sustainable than cans, which is a little odd, going by what their commitment is, but that could be something that could affect them. As we said, the social media accounts are a little bland. They don't have much going on. Things are posted at different times, different areas. It just doesn't make sense if you really look at it sometimes. And then their packaging and color schemes, the logo, as you've seen it, is just the name of the brewery in black. All their packaging for the bottles are just white label with black lettering on it. So it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't stand out, doesn't stick out. I mean, it is their brand, but it just, if you're seeing it on the shelf, it doesn't stick out when you look at other ones. So some opportunities there are, cause marketing, treatment of employees, as we talked about earlier, are trending in this right now. And it's just something that Maine Beer does extremely well, and something that we need to promote with our social campaign. New beer styles are becoming more popular, as we said, that they could add some more to theirs. So where our Maine Beer company is right now is Freeport, Maine, which is also the home to LL Bean, which is a very well nationally known brand that shares a lot of the same values as Maine Beer Company. Maybe a partnership in the future with them could do well for both. And they're only distributing to 32 states. They could expand to other areas. So some threats that they have is that, Maine Beer tries to be at the forefront of the social issues and renewable energy and everything like that. But another brewery in Maine that opened up very recently has already reached its 100% renewable energy goal. So it's just, I don't know, there's just more competitors coming into the industry that they need to be on the lookout for. And the lack of social media, as we've explained many times, is just, it may hurt the brand as more competitors like this Flight Deck Brewing, the one with the 100% renewable energy, come into the fold. So the rising cost of glass bottles could hurt the profits and the contributions to those nonprofits that it really is really hopeful for. All right. So now the business objectives for our social media campaign. So first one is just to increase awareness of Maine Brewing Company's core values among 25 to 44-year-olds. So currently on social media, they do not do a lot of promoting their community efforts, their charitable donations and all that. So that's just something some people may not even know, that that's part of a very important part of the values of of the company, and that's something that we need to get out there more, because that will just, in general, it'll entice more people to know about the brand and have a good feeling about it. We want to grow engagement on Twitter by 15%. The Twitter has not been used in probably 6 months by Maine Beer Company, and it's just kind of sitting there, and it's something that, as you'll see during our audit, has a lot of potential, and it's just not being utilized correctly by the company right now. Want to improve sales of the specialty beer releases by 10%, and we'll do that through the campaign, just generating more awareness about it, when they're coming out, how we're targeting the correct people that may be interested in those beers, and then just post more consistently. It's just right now there's maybe one or two posts a week total, and it's hurting the consistency is hurting its following and the engagement, and it really needs to be improved to just put Maine Beer Company at the next level. The target audience for this, it just says to me, the 25 to 44 year olds, craft beer enthusiasts. So a new audience could be activists that they're likely to share the values of MBC. So we want to pull them into the fold, and just, they may not be as interested in the beer, but if they're interested in our message and what we're trying to do for the world and trying to change the world as Maine Beer is trying to do, that they're a great audience to have, and with our targeted campaign, they will be definitely interested in that. And then just the middle class income level, that's kind of where we're at right now with craft beer enthusiasts and activists. They sort of fit into that middle class income level, so that's who we're going to be looking out for. So now let's take a look at what Maine Beer Company is doing on social media right now. So right now they use Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and they kind of just post the same stuff on all of them. Instagram, it's showing beer releases, what's going on in the tasting room, some community service activities. They post about once a month. They let an employee pick a charity that they want to donate to, and they post about that. But other than that, there's not much going on as far as the community efforts on their Instagram page. Twitter has not posted since May of 2022, but prior to that, they were posting daily. So I'm not exactly sure what happened to them, but it's sort of fallen off. But as you can see, they have more followers than their competitors, but there's no activity. So it's definitely ripe for an opportunity for Maine Beer to step in and kind of take the charge as far as the breweries in the state being like a large Twitter presence. The Facebook page posts basically everything that was on the Instagram page or Twitter when they had it, and they post links to events that are happening, and then some industry areas here and there. But really, it's focused on mostly resharing what's going on Instagram and posting some events in the tasting room. So all these are looking to drive visits to the tasting room and just inform people of the new beers coming out of Maine Beer Company. But there really is not a solid strategy right now, and it needs to be improved. Consumers, they say a lot of good things about Maine Beer on social media. Like, many are sharing photos of their beer, their visits to the tasting room, pouring one and saying, trying to use the hashtags Maine Beer Company and do what's right, sharing photos. It's just, there's a lot of positive content going out there from the consumer side, but Maine Beer is not interacting at all with its customers. Some of them are asking questions about beers, about when things are going on, or different events, different things that are happening at the brewery, and Maine Beer stays quiet. So that lack of engagement could hurt the company, as people, followers may just disappear because they just realize that there's no communication there, that they're just kind of like talking into an empty vacuum, and that can't happen. Social media is all about building those connections and having the conversation, and Maine Beer really needs to add its voice to their side of the conversation. So some of the insights that we've drawn from this are that none of the competitors are taking Twitter seriously. A lot of them aren't posting frequently or kind of fell off the wagon as Maine Beer did. So but Maine Beer has more followers than those other two that we talked about earlier, Allagash and Shipyard, and many of the other breweries in the state. So there's definitely an opportunity to post more and get involved on that platform, and that could definitely increase the visibility of the brand. Compared to competitors, they post less than half as much. So a lot of the other ones are posting more frequently and just getting content out there and just keeping people interested in. And right now, Maine Beer does not do that. Instagram followers are not rising as rapidly as many of the other brands, and that's something that may have to do with the lack of content. It may have to do with not engaging as much. These are just some of the things to look at where we can maybe alter some of our strategy to go forward and make that a I don't know, just a better conversation, a better environment on social media for the brand. Facebook engagement numbers, though, have doubled in the last 30 days. So there is a very large engaged audience on Facebook. We just need to find some right content that they can get more engaged on, and maybe use that type of the content that we're going to do on Facebook, where we already have an engaged audience, and put that on some of the other platforms to try and get some of that interest over there. And going back to Twitter, just another stat about that: in the last 30 days, the mentions on Twitter have been very similar to Allagash, but their reach, Allagash is getting much more reach off its content and all of that than Maine, even though they have half of the followers. So it's just something that we just need to look into, just using Twitter more effectively and actually getting back to using that platform could really send the brand in a whole new direction on social media. All right, so now we get down to what is our campaign going to be about. So Maine, as we've sort of talked about before, their values rest in one simple phrase: it's do what's right. It's plastered all over their signs, it's everywhere. It's what they live for. They want to do what's right no matter what. So our plan is going to be to showcase how they do what's right through its beer, nonprofit work efforts, employee benefits programs, just basically anything that they're doing to outside of that kind of helps the environment, makes the world a better place. We're going to just try and we're going to push all that content out there. So they care about making great beer, but it's more compared to making the world a better place for everyone. They're already a leader in the craft beer world, so we just want to expand that and maybe have them a thought leader in other areas of the industry. So this campaign is going to focus on 4 platforms, the 3 that Maine Beer already uses, and we're also going to add TikTok into that, as it's the fastest growing platform and is the most engaging, as an average user spends over 10 minutes on the platform at once, much more than any of the other ones. So as far as some of the content that we're going to do, Facebook, we're going to share some of the same content as Instagram and Twitter, but it's going to be more posting tasting room events. We're going to have a blog that we're going to start up for Maine Beer. Then we're going to share some of that information on there, just to sort of have a conversation. And it's already very engaged. Having a blog that makes people think, people may be more apt to engage on that. It's a great place for brewery news because 2/3 of the users consume news through the platform. So it's a great location to put all that information. Our Instagram, we're really going to lean into this do what's right, using the hashtag do what's right through stories, videos. There's nearly 640 million users that are aged in our target. So there's a wide audience on there. We just need to get them content that they want to see. On Twitter, what we really are going to focus on is just taking industry news that beer industry news, stuff about environmental efforts and stuff, and just add our voice to it. So quote, retweet, add a little caption on there to just tell what we're thinking on this, how it's important, and maybe start a conversation that way. There's 62% of the active users of the platform use it daily. So there's an audience out there. We have a large audience at Maine Beer Company, so we just need to We just need to reach them with more content. Our TikTok strategy is just, it's a very video forward platform. So we are just going to go on location to different events we're running, community events. We're going to have some beer discussions about what certain styles are, how things are made at Maine Beer Company, and then also just maybe a visit to a farm or visit to another area in the community where we just kind of discuss the connection between Maine Beer and what they're doing there. So as you said, here's just some examples. So our blog post would be on Facebook. We have a picture of our brewery with the solar panels, and then link back to the blog on our website about how they use solar to power the brewery. That's just something that will, it's a great conversation. It's great. It's something that we want to promote, that our brewery is doing, the 100% renewable energy effort in the next couple of years. And getting that content out there will hopefully spark a conversation, spark some engagement on the platform. So our brewery tasting room information and events are going to be sort of limited more to the Instagram story, Facebook story page, just because when they're on the main pages of these, they sort of tend to get in the way. If someone's going through our timeline, they just see these pop up, and after they happen, they don't really have as much relevant. They're not as relevant. So it's just something that we want to limit to maybe the stories. Big events and stuff like that will still go everywhere, just because we want to get the word out to as many people as possible. But like something like a bottle release for a beer, we throw it up on the story. It just kind of helps eliminate the clutter on the timeline. Twitter, as we said, we're going to try and quote retweet different articles or anything that fits with what our brand, our Do What's Right campaign. So this example we have here is just how breweries are getting creative with sustainable initiatives. And we just add our voice to it. We're always trying to strive to do what's right, and thank you for supporting this, and just kind of telling our side of the story. So sourcing these and stories and sharing them is going to be a large part of the Twitter strategy. And then on TikTok, so we can do an example for a video would be just a visit to a local hop farm in Maine that Maine Beer Company uses those hops. So let's talk to the farmer. How do they grow these? What does it mean that a local brewery is using them? How does that help everything? So it's just kind of, just telling the stories of sort of behind the scenes and how they trying to make these connections with these local brands and the Maine area. It just helps reiterate the commitment to helping the local community. So as you can see, our strategy, our content calendar has a lot more on it than it did in the past. Before they were just posting maybe 2-3 times a week, and now we have something going up every day. We have 2-3 posts a day, and that is just to keep those efforts going, keep everything active, and keep our followers engaged with what's going on. So Instagram, we're going to post every day. That is our most popular one, our most popular platform right now, and it is one of the most popular ones overall. So it's important to have a constant presence on that. Our Facebook, we're just basically going to reshare some of the stuff, like our blog posts. We're going to use the event feature to any Maine events. We have a beer release party here that we're going to use an event. We're going to invite people some of our followers who may be interested through the Facebook app to just kind of, sort of promote that a little more. And then we're going to start adding some series, like a Sunday Spotlight series, where we will let our followers on other pages on social media sort of pick what we want to talk about. Do we want to talk about a local party? We want to talk about the hop farm visit. Do we want to talk about our community efforts in climate change? So just we can kind of crowdsource the content that we want to use, and then we can post some content on that, just to sort of show that our followers have a voice in our process. So to measure these, as we went back to the business plan, our business objectives, increase awareness. We're really going to be using that hashtag Do What's Right, and right now it's not used that often on Maine Beer or by anybody. So there really is an opportunity to brand that sort of with Maine Beer Company. So We're just going to see how many engagements those get. So that will help increase the awareness of our brand and our campaign. Impressions on Facebook, and then our engagement rate by view of our TikTok. So just how many people are interacting with the video, sharing it, commenting as it posts. So we're really just we want to create awareness and engagement of our brand and our Do What's Right campaign, and these metrics will help reach that. Growing engagement on Twitter, that business objective, we just want to see more comments, more mentions by other people, more we just want people interacting with our brand on Twitter. So improve sales of our specialty beers. We're going to be doing some paid advertising on all the platforms, so we can use that with links and all that to judge our conversion rates from those ads. And then posting consistently we just need to see what our average daily posts are and how many videos we're posting per week on TikTok, and just use that information to make sure that we're on track, trying to stay consistent with all the content that we're putting out there, and just so that we have a greater presence on social media than we do right now. To track all these, we're going to use the HubSpot or Hootsuite program to do that. So our budget estimate. So according to the CMO report, 10%, about 10.35% of your annual revenue should be used for marketing budget. So as you can see the numbers up here, 13% of that is the average for social media budget. And then this is just a monthly budget estimate of around $7,433. So we're going to spend a lot of that on content creation, in-house content creation. We're going to have, with the amount of content we're going to be putting out at this point, we need a lot more help trying to a lot more effort into creating all that, sourcing information, filming videos. So that is something that we're going to spend a lot of the budget on. We may outsource some of that. We have an average here about like maybe six different posts a month that we're going to outsource to other places. Our social advertising, we're going to use $75 a day to kind of push down on our plan to increase the specialty beer sales, or just to get, if there's an effort that we're really interested in, or we have a blog post that we really want to get out there, using some paid advertisement to get that out to a larger audience and just spread the word of our brand. Social engagement, we're going to spend about maybe 3 to 5 hours a week on that. And that's just doing some social listening, doing some, responding to comments here and there, just a little bit every day, just to keep everybody engaged in that. As you said, we're going to use Hootsuite for our software to kind of manage the whole social media campaign. That's about $249 a month. And then we're going to be running some promotions and contests, about $1,500 a month on that, to just to maybe draw people into the brand, give away some free stuff, or just maybe do some donations in people's names if they win a contest. So there's a lot of different ways to go with that, but this is just how our budget plans out per month. So in conclusion, there's a clear focus here on our Do What's Right values of the brand, and we hope that this will broaden Maine Beer Company's reach just outside of the beer industry. That we love making great beer, but it's also, we're doing a lot of these community efforts and all this stuff that kind of gets unnoticed, and we want to make that more of our brand image. Using Twitter to add the voice to current topics will help that. It'll help establish Maine Beer as a contributor to craft beer and to important social matters. And that's also as we explained, a very important platform at this point, just because there's such an opportunity to grow there, especially with none of the competitors really taking this seriously. We really need to step in, and we can take over that platform. And increasing our content and our regular posting will help and build engagement and awareness among our followers. So we just need to be more consistent and have more content out there, so that our followers don't get bored and they want to stay engaged with our brand on social media. And hashtag do what's right. It's not being used that often, and we're going to brand that as Maine Beer's hashtag. Everyone is going to know, do what's right. That's Maine Beer. So we're going to use that extensively in all of our content. So I just want to thank you for joining me today, and thank you very much.